A new VA clinic is about to open in Stockton, and when you drive up, you will see this name, Richard A. Pittman. That's who the facility will be named after, and he is a Stockton native, a hero, and a veteran. So tonight, we want to introduce you to the man behind the name, so when you see it, you won't forget it.
Hometown hero, Master Sergeant Pittman.
Our name.
Hi, Daddy.
The one thing we can truly give meaning to. Names can feel familiar or unforgettable.
That is our dad's flag. We were asked if we would mind having Daddy's flag on display, and we were honored to have it here.
So my dad's featured on it right there.
We sat down with twins Tina and Gina Pittman to learn about the man behind their family name.
Our dad was larger than life.
10 feet tall and bulletproof.
Exactly.
Richard Pittman, a self-described poor kid from Stockton who joined the Marine Corps in 1965.
He was blind in one eye and cheated to go active duty.
I remember being like, Dad's blind in one eye? We had no idea.
Because we swore he had eyes in the back of
Right?
his head.
In the back of his head. I don't think we ever knew. And you know, turns out when he was in Vietnam, neither did they.
His heroic actions during the Vietnam War would send him home a decorated soldier. That's when Richard earned a new name.
He was everybody's hero.
In 1968, Richard was awarded the Medal of Honor, the United States Armed Forces' highest military decoration, a life-changing moment followed by another.
While they were there for him to be decorated at the White House is when our grandmother figured out my mom was pregnant.
Twins.
Surprise! Pittman baby 2 at your service.
And then Richard earned another name.
This is our favorite picture of our dad, pretty much, because this is how we saw him in his everyday uniform or his camis, every day.
A name he wore as proud as his uniform.
Oh, Saturday morning PTs. Oh, we could tell you stories.
What was that like?
So we could not have yes.
My dad said at one time that ribbon to him was off the blood, sweat, and tears of other men.
Who gave their lives.
And that he wore that to represent them. He earned that medal without a doubt, but that wasn't all he was. And he said, you know, I've done quite a few things in my life I'm proud of. I have 4 of them.
Master Sergeant Richard Pittman served in the Marine Corps for more than 2 decades before deciding it was time for a change.
Because I said, what are you going to do? You can't retire, you're too young. What will you be? What will I tell people you are? And there was this long silence, and he said, well, I thought I'd just be your dad for a while. Could we try that and see? And I was like, oh.
After being dad for a while, Richard earned another name, Grandpa.
This is his 2 oldest grandsons. They were his pride and joy since he had no boys. He was robbed, I tell you.
Richard's commitment to country marked in history. In his community, it's sealed on the school where his grandchildren walked the halls.
He used to say that his grandkids were do-overs all the time.
All while Richard was still fighting another war.
My father suffered from PTSD from the day my dad came home from Vietnam until the day that he died. He struggled with it.
He did perimeter checks every single night, all night long, until he died. He used to joke that we should put on his headstone, finally a good night's rest. And there was no cause to him bigger than taking care of our veterans, making sure they had everything they earned.
Richard, Master Sergeant Pittman, hero, dad, grandpa, passed away in 2016. But his fight for veterans care is still alive.
The 4 of us made a pact when Dad died that we would do our best to ensure his legacy.
Now that legacy will live here in the new VA medical clinic that will bear the name Richard Pittman.
When our dad needed care the last 5 years, he had to go all the way to Palo Alto or all the way to Livermore.
It should be as easy as them picking up the phone and saying, I am a veteran and you have a clinic. I need to be seen. As a country, as a people, we owe them that. At the very least, we owe them medical care, mental care.
Richard Pittman, a name familiar to his community, unforgettable to his family.
Before we move on, I want to say thank you to the Pittman family. I deeply appreciate you sharing your father's life and legacy and for trusting us to tell his story. I also want to mention that there is a ribbon cutting ceremony tomorrow unveiling Mr. Pittman's name at the clinic, and that clinic will officially open next Tuesday, catering to 25,000 veterans. And if you are a veteran watching right now, I personally want to say thank you for your service. It does not go unnoticed.